and welcome back to Share Your Truth. Today we will be discussing how to deal with addictions.
I'm Mika Means.
I'm Raquel.
Candice B.
Jasmine.
Bridget Marie.
Takoya.
And Triana.
Well, today's topic is interesting to me because through my family, we have experienced a whole lot of addiction, different kinds. So for my family back in my upbringing was different. We announced the Serenity Prayer often. And both of my parents suffer from addiction, and they're warriors. They've been clean over 20 years. My grandma was in addiction over 40, 50 years, and she's been clean, I want to say, 17 years, maybe. But addiction pretty much just went through all of my family, whether it was gambling, narcotics, alcohol, sex, drugs, you name it. So growing up in my household, I was always taught an addiction, whether it be addiction to the telephone, addiction to a drug, it comes from a void. So when you are in an addiction, it's from a void. It may be from trauma, whatever, but you have to admit that you have a problem. And you have to have those loved ones around you that will identify, hey, that's a problem. Because it's things that we do. You know, you might have a drink every now and then, but if you drink it by yourself and you drink it because of your pain, you need to check it. So because of the addiction that I have in my family, when I do feel like, oh, I just need to drink or I just need this, then I kind of check myself. But I do realize that I do have a low-key addiction to my phone. That whenever anything is going on or how I'm feeling, like I might just jump in my phone and just escape where I'm at real quick and just look at where I want to be or how I'm feeling, or just look for inspiration or encouragement and you know that, and then I just check out. Like the people I'm around and where I'm at, I'm literally like engulfed in the phone. I'm not here.
Like hell.
Right, I'm not here because I've checked out. So I had to work on my addiction with my phone. So sometimes I'll like hide it from myself or put it in my drawer, like, because it's like a baby. Like a phone will sit there beep beep beep, and then you like, I'm trying to get time alone, I'm trying to go to sleep, but it's beeping. So somebody's calling me or somebody's texting me or something's posted, and so I had to work on that. And then also I'll put this in there: addiction to eating out and food. I love food. I had to check that because I literally looked at how much I was spending in food, and I was like, come on, dog. Like during lunchtime, it was like excursion. We'd be like, oh, where we eating today? Oh, we gonna go to Stinky Crawfish. Or where we eating today? Oh, let's go to New Orleans. Like, yeah, we gonna go over there, or we gonna go here on my burger. So I had to check that, like an addiction to just spending money, like just because I had the money, it was gone. So, but addiction to me is very important to point it out because of where I come from and how my family is built. So when the littlest of things in my family, if you start doing it too much, they be looking like you will have an intervention real quick. So yeah, it is good. It is good in that sense because we know where we come from, and my family is very open. They're very honest and they're very transparent. My grandma will sit here and tell you like, I've been drinking since I was 12. I've been drinking since I was 10. She grew up in Arkansas, and she was like, I just be drinking, and I didn't see nothing wrong with it. And then it got to a point where she just didn't know how to stop.
It do become,
and it's
and it comes where you don't even notice it. Because I know I had started, like with the family thing, that is true. Because at first I'm like, I don't have no addictions. I don't, but when she brought up family, my family was addicted to gambling and drugs. You feel what I'm saying? So I used to always be like, no, I'm not gambling. Because my grandpa used to be gambling. We couldn't find him. We had to go to all the casinos looking for him. So I never got into gambling just because of the consciousness that I had growing up, with my grandfather being addicted to gambling. And on top of him being addicted to gambling, he was addicted to drugs. But I had this thing to where he sold drugs, back in the 70s, 80s. That's what they did, and he ended up being on it.
Right.
So in my head, I'm a person who learns from other people's mistakes. Like I be like, girl, how could you try drugs when these drug dealers is pumping gas? And like you see their lifestyle, so why would you want to try it? So me, I'm always the one like, don't play with me with drugs. Don't play with me because I see what it'll do, like how it'll take you. So me having a grandfather that was on it, you know, stealing from, you know what I'm saying? And like my family, my grandfather used to steal. He started selling drugs, and then he ended up on them. And then it started trickling down to his kids. So I'm just be looking on the outside like, when you sell drugs, I feel like it hit somebody. If not you, it'll hit a child. It's karma. Like, so I used to, like, with my kid's father, I used to be like, we cannot be together if that's what you do. And I was strong on that because my kid's not about to be out here off of the choices that you choose to make.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? So I always used to look at other people's mistakes and try to, like, you know, pretty much not want to go down that path. But I do know that, like you said, that was good because avoid. Like, I think I have an addiction to working. I have an addiction to, like, be better than what I was the year before, or do better than what I was before. And I have an addiction to being at my office working. Like, the minute I feel like I'm trying to avoid something or get my mind off of something, I will come and be at my office all day, every day, and just sit and work. And I feel like, are you addicted? You know, I had to ask myself that. Like, I think I'm addicted to working. And I'm voiding stuff out. Like, I gotta work. And every time I say I gotta work, that means I don't gotta have no kids. I'm working. Because people gonna be like, oh, she working. Just like if you gotta go to work, I gotta be at work. So I feel like I do be voiding things out when I come and I be in my office and just drown myself in work. So I know that I'm addicted to working. I am.
I feel like when I was younger, I don't know if I seen somebody be addicted or what it was, but I would always pray, God, please don't help me be addicted to nothing. Anything that I ever come across, don't let me be addicted to it. So that's why if I liked it too much, I wouldn't do it. Like, if I like it too much, that means I might be addicted to it. The one thing I was addicted to is shopping. Like, I was addicted. Like, I was addicted. Like, my dad would be like, why you not saving your money? Because I got to buy these shoes. It was packages coming every day. Like, every day. And I don't even got money. Like, I didn't even have money like that, but I was buying it. So I was, like, super addicted. And I think it was more so that people would say, like, oh, I like them. I like this. I like that. And so I was, like, hung up on what somebody was going to say to me, just complimenting me. So that's why I was doing it. But I really do love shoes. But since I had my babies, like, I ain't bought nothing. Like, so it's crazy. I'm addicted to social media, Instagram. I'm really addicted to Instagram, and I don't know why. And I think when she said, what did you say, Kels? That it's void.
You can jump in Instagram and be in Hawaii,
Yeah.
be in Maui, be in the Greenlands of Greenland, in sunflowers,
You can do
and inside twerk
like,
videos.
I think it is like an escape. So you saying that is like a void to me, and it's like, but I want to identify the void so that I'm not doing it.
Right.
Because when I feel like it takes control over you, because I can be on Instagram like for 4 hours, not straight now that I got my babies, but used to could be on there 4 hours straight. Like, what are you doing? Why are you on pages of people you don't even know, and you didn't even know them, you didn't know they friends, you didn't know nobody. Like, well, why are you looking at it for? Like, it was just, I don't know. So I'm right now currently, and I'm praying my way through this, that I don't want to be addicted to it. You laughing, but it's funny.
No, because you really be on pages of Susie, and you like, how do I get here?
But it's not funny because that's like, to me that's the same thing as a drug addict. Like, you need this. You feel like you need
The
it.
stimulation.
And
The
I don't
stimulation
need
feels
it.
good.
I'm gonna do
It's
it
something,
fast.
something in your brain.
It's the phone, period. Because even when you wake up, first thing you grab
Grabs that
is your
phone.
When you go to the bathroom, you're on Instagram scrolling. Like, next thing
Sitting
you know,
there, you done already.
Girl, that is
Leg is sweet. Leg is dead.
No more, but I used to be. And I had to fast and get off for like 30 days. And then once I got off for 30 days, it reset you. Like, you don't be eager to jump on. But I had to realize, like, you have to give it a break. If you don't give it a break, you will be like, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not a, you know, I'll end up on other people's pages that I don't know, because I don't do the explore page. Because that to me, I feel like you would end up somewhere you really don't supposed to be.
I don't feel
You
that
know what I'm saying?
So you was on Instagram for hours back then, and not on.
What?
Yeah, you went on the explore page.
No, you can just go to other people's page. Like, I like her shirt, flip it in there. Oh, I like her icon, flip it to there.
It be more.
And now I be on the stories. I don't even be on Instagram. Like, I'll look at everybody's story. And then once I'm done with looking at everybody's story, I will probably get off. But I don't, like I said, I'm not a Instagrammer, like, where I just know everybody. Like, 'cause some people be knowing your moves, like, the caption. I be like, how do you know? Like, so my friend, she said the other day, she's addicted. She's like, but she don't like nobody she follow. Everything, she was like, I can't say. And I'm like, why you follow her?
Unfollow that.
She was like, because if I unfollow her, I'm gonna be blocked. And I'm like, what you mean you gonna be blocked? She was like, cause her page private. I said, but you don't like nothing she posts.
Right.
So why is it that you following her? I don't
You just
get
see
it.
that.
You just being nosy. Like, I don't understand how people follow people that they do not like, that they have no interest in. You get what I'm saying? Like, I
Yeah,
follow
I don't
people
get
that
that
inspire me.
Right, right.
So I don't have to go to the Explore page.
That's the
'cause-
explore page. The explore page be the hair study. I need to know, how did you get this frontal to look like that? That
Well,
be
go
my
on YouTube.
No, cause I can't find your page on you. I need to know your name first. I don't wanna just Google it.
Y'all gonna have me on
Yeah,
the
that's
explore
too
page
much.
tonight.
Yeah, I don't do the Explore page. Look it. I don't do
I mean, because the Explorer page is almost tailored to
your life.
your
Your
life.
life,
yeah.
that's why I see
So
nails.
like mine is nails. I was just looking at my Explorer page. It was like 98% Nipsey Hussle and Lauren London at this point.
Yeah, it is.
And
That's your
then
life.
and two nails. Two nail pictures. And I mean, I go through every Nipsey thing and like it and look at it, and I just be on the Explorer
love
page
you,
and the nails. So I do end up on the Explorer page, and then maybe it'd be a little kid. I love little kids, like they dancing, singing, and talented. So I'm always just
But see,
like,
back then, it wasn't tailored to your liking.
Yeah.
It wasn't tailored. It was tailored to
She's talking about when she
people
was
you.
addicted.
When I was addicted, it was
Okay,
tailored
okay.
to who you might know. Like now, I'm not addicted, so I could go to the Explore page and it's to your likings. But back
Yeah.
then, it was more so mutual people or things of that nature. And I used to try to avoid that because it was like that was when I was still going through my growth spurt. So it was like I had to cut off certain things to get to where I was going. You know what I'm saying? And being on the Explorer page was one of them. So yeah. And then I feel like I can't cut it off because I run a
That's what you
business.
promote. That's
Right,
why
right.
I.
So I'm like, I'm stuck because it's like I run a business. So how is it that I'm supposed to get on Instagram? Like I don't know how.
I don't know why
to
you
do it.
gotta get off. You just balance. Like, why you gotta get off? If it's beneficial to your business.
No, I'm not addicted to it. So I
keep
balance.
balance.
Okay, you.
Yeah, how you balance?
I got 4 pages that I got to run, and that takes an hour to do everything I need to do on it, and then that's
And
my
then get off.
and that's my time limit is 1 hour. So now how I'm gonna look at your pages?
You can't.
That's stupid.
No, you gotta figure out a schedule, like Monday, Wednesday, Friday, whatever. Like,
Not an
okay, 2
hour.
hours on Monday, I'm gonna do an hour on
It's
Tuesday.
hard.
2
It's
hours
hard.
on Wednesday, I'm gonna do an hour on Thursday.
Because once you get on Instagram, it's like you're on Instagram.
It's like it
It's
pulls
like
you in.
you're
It sucks
there.
you in.
Now I can see if you're not on it, the phone is down and you're cleaning up, you're tending to your kids or whatever. But once you're on it, that's when you like doing extra scrolls.
And then the group chats is what kills me, cause I got a whole bunch of group chats,
I didn't even know you could do that.
but I be sending you stuff too.
Yeah.
But if I see something real funny and then I gotta catch up, it be like 14 things, and I'm like, right now, I bet when I go to my phone, it's
And
got
then you go look at that.
Yeah, I gotta go and I
Like
gotta
I can do
laugh
funny
and look.
stuff, but you will be addicted to it. That is an addiction.
It is.
oh, I think I was addicted to just talking about boys, because at first I was like, I don't know what I was addicted
Me
to.
too.
But I had a huge void, or I don't know what the void was from, but I always found myself in relationships. So I'm gonna say that I was addicted to being in relationships. Like my first relationship lasted 5 years, like 15 to 20 years old, and I want to say 3 months after that relationship, I got into another relationship that was like 2 years. Right after that relationship, I got into one that was for 3 years. So majority of my life starting at 15, I just became single. I'm almost been single for 2 years now. So from 15 to like 28 years old. I've always found myself in a relationship. I've never been single more than 3 months,
Wow.
you know? And I had to, it is definitely, I guess it was some type of void, you know? And I think it stemmed from my father leaving, honestly, because I just don't get the parents that was there, you know, at one point and then can just get up and leave. You know, I could see if you just wasn't a parent, you wasn't there from day one. But you've been there since I was born. You established that relationship, and you can still pick, like, get up and walk out of my life. I was just, like, hurt by that. And I think I just always wanted someone around. You feel me? And, yeah, so I was addicted to relationships at one point. I'm finally at a place where I'm just like, man, I just want to be to myself. I want to know myself. I want to just build up myself, because I was always that type of person, like, pour into people. I love love, right? So I'm always encouraging. I just think I'm just like the best girlfriend.
Do y'all think so?
We need to fuck.
But I was just like, man, like, all that love I give them, the time, the effort, the energy, and they always, like, elevate. They go to, in my opinion, they go to new heights. You feel me? And I'm just like, man, like, I want to pour that into myself. So once I was finally able to become single, and I mean, it took y'all to know how hard it was, because although
somebody fight to be single. That's
man, and I just got to a point, I was just always in a relationship, and I had to fight hard to get out of that space. I think I'm doing pretty good right now. I still be dating here and there, but I be dating real quick and short, like 2 weeks. I just want to go out on a few dates, because I don't be doing that with nobody. You know, so you go out.
It's a date.
Yeah, I like experiencing stuff I've never done before. So if I meet somebody, and I be meeting people all the time, and I'm like, I'm on Instagram, I'm finding restaurants,
Right.
and then once I meet somebody, I be like, hey, let's go here, and they be like, okay. So then, I be dating for like 2 weeks, and I be done with that. And
They have
maybe
caught
I'm
your
addicted
attention.
to dating right there.
By the time you scare, they 2 weeks gonna be up.
Nah, but I think the fact that I was just over the relationships, and I've been single for 2 years now, that's a big growth.
Yeah, I was like that. I was in a relationship 15 to 18, and then, you know, a whole 10-year relationship, and once I got out of it, I was like, no, I can't. It took me probably 5 years to be back into a relationship.
Oh, okay.
And then when I did get into it, I was mad. Like, you know, so this year is the year that I'm like, you know, I'm learning new things. It's like, you know, but you do be addicted to being in relationships sometimes, you know. Or you feel like that void has to be with another person.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right,
And it don't.
right.
You can pour that into yourself.
I'm at the point where I'm like, God, don't let me enjoy this too much, because I'm loving being single right now.
Yeah.
And I hope I don't stay there for like, I could probably do this for another good 2 years. But I hope I don't get to a point
That
where
you just
that
get
you don't
comfortable with
desire
being
nobody
single.
else.
Because I did. I was so comfortable with being single. I was like, I think I'm addicted to just being single. Because I like, and I still, even me getting into a relationship, I still like being single. I still be like, no, I think I need to be single, because I was living my best life. Like, I was doing and going as I please. It wasn't, I didn't have to answer the phone. If I didn't answer the phone, it's not what you was doing. Come on. Like, I didn't have time for that. So if you keep going, on this single thing, you're going to, you know, it's going to be awkward when it's a person asking you a question that you're normally not used to being asked. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So where you're going to be like, what did you, you know? So,
I've never been addicted to anything. Like, I would intentionally try stuff just to see if I would get addicted, just so that my presence would be relevant to the people that were around me, if that makes sense. So, like, I would
give an example.
like
smoking weed.
like smoking weed, or like, you know, well, I drink occasionally, but like things that the ordinary person would do.
Okay.
I don't do.
Okay.
So in order for me to be relevant in that circle, it's like, okay, I have to come from a place of what y'all experience,
Okay.
because I can talk to you about why I don't do it, why I never did it, but it's like it's not gonna hit home because I never did it. So I'm like, I intentionally explore things, like legit, like, okay, this my year to be spicy. I'm gonna be spicy. I'm gonna try some stuff, and I want to see, like, how do people get addicted? That's what I've been trying to figure out, like, cause I come from my family, like my mom and my stepdad, like, they were alcoholics, and I'm like, my stepdad has been in my life since I was 6 months old. So I've seen his progress. I've seen him go high. I've seen him go low. I've seen him stay in the middle. And I'm just like, what is causing you to turn to the bottle though? Like, you go to church, you praise God, like you're a full-blown deacon, like you might be the only man in the church, you know what I'm saying? But then you go home and you get into your drinking.
I think
I've asked them. But it could be a boy, and that was more the reason why I wanted to explore it. Like, what is it that's so, like, the Bible back and front? You know what I'm saying? If anybody, you know how to get out of it. So why do you choose to stay there? Like, it's a choice, I feel. But I've never been addicted.
Right.
So I'm like, when I get to that point, people always say, well, you're a goody two shoe. You never, and that was more of the reason why I was intentional about doing it.
It really comes from a continuance, not just you trying it on a Tuesday and maybe trying it again 3 months.
No, I've been consistent. Like, legit, like,
But I think you gotta like it.
You have to like it.
It has to
stimulate you. Like, for me, I started drinking and I started liking the mixture.
Yeah.
Because at first I was like, that's too strong. So I started mixing it to my liking, and I started liking it to where it got to the point to where it was like, go get it about. So now I'm drinking on a Monday, and I'm like, I usually drink Friday, Saturday. I usually don't do it. Monday.
Right.
And I start finding myself drinking on a Monday.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Because it was the mixture that I made for myself that I liked it. Like me, I'm not a smoker. I'm more of a social. I'm more of a social drinker, and I'm more of a social smoker. But if I drink more, if it's just there, you get what I'm saying? It'll be like me. I'm not gonna smoke if it's just there, because I'm like, who's that? Who? I'm more conscious. But when it comes to alcohol, I found myself doing it to my liking. Now, if it's something that you don't like, you're not gonna get addicted to it because you really don't like it. You're just doing it consciously.
Right. Because I remember as a child, my grandma's drink, and she'll tell you, so I keep it 100. Her drink was J&B, and she would drink it like water. And so I remember me and my brother used to pour it down the sink and put it up with water. And she would run around, would chase us around the house and go crazy, right? So one day I'm like, what is it? Like, what is it? So I'm drinking it. And I'm like, this tastes disgusting. And so when I get older and I started drinking, I was like, oh, this tastes nasty. But then I started like, nah, let me just knock it back. I drink my stuff straight, period. So then I got into a space, because I've always been taught, like, you drink, you smoke, you do whatever, your problem's still gonna be there.
Right.
So don't try to drown your problems.
Right.
But I went through a breakup, and we talked about this on the depression episode, and I just started drinking. And when I say I was drinking every day. Like, I don't even think I was drinking water at this point. Like, I'm just drinking every day. And then I got to the point where I didn't even taste the alcohol no more. And it just was more alcohol. And that's when I realized, like, yo, you really need to step back, because this is becoming a problem. Like, this is going to become a problem. So it's trying to cover it up. Sometimes it is a choice, and then sometimes it's not a choice, because they really will sit there and be like, I don't want to do this no more. I'm tired, and will turn right back to the drug.
But the thing that she said was, it stopped tasting like alcohol.
It stopped tasting like alcohol.
So think about alcoholic.
It do.
It stopped tasting.
You start liking the smell.
Yeah.
Like, you can smell it and be like, oh, this smells good. But usually you'll be like, that's
Right.
wrong.
It's
But you can
some
smell it
tweaks
and be
off.
like, give me some. Because like, when I start smelling it and like closing my eyes, I was like, bitch,
You tripping.
get your pull out. Pull out.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
But
It wasn't like
everybody don't
it
have
wasn't like
that
I was doing
switch.
it. You know what I'm saying? Because I have very good mind control, but everybody do
Right.
not.
Everybody does it.
But when I got to that point to where I was smelling it and was like, ooh, I was like, okay, Mika,
Right.
this is a problem.
Because it becomes a real issue, and I know, like, for me and my family, we've had conversations, and I'll never touch powder in my life. I see powder, I run the other way. I don't even want to
Like
be
the
around
drug?
y'all. The drug.
Oh yeah, don't
I see crack, I see cocaine, I'm out of there. I see anything rolling up Primos, I'm out of there. I will not, no. And people, you know, have seen the addiction in our family, and they still choose to, you know, oh, I'll snort powder every night. No!
Yeah, I don't
Because you never know when that one, but that's with alcohol too, because my mom told me all the time, she was like, with alcohol, knowing that you come from an addictive family, and I do have an addictive behavior. If I like something, I'm gonna do it a lot. If me and you go out and we have fun, I'm gonna go out with you every weekend. If me and you go and eat
know how to
something,
handle that too.
yeah.
Some people have addictive.
I have addictive behavior. If I eat
Yeah,
something
that's
that's
true.
fire, we gonna go there 5 days out the week. So I have to learn to turn it off. That's real talk. I have addictive behavior because I come from addicts.
Yeah.
So I had to learn how to trigger that. But if you don't come from addicts and you didn't grow up that way, you don't understand. Because literally, I have sat in places where people are just like, I really want my family back. I want this, I want that, I want that. I don't want to do this. And they go back out and drink, or they go back out to the streets, or they go back out. And it's sad. It's the worst thing to ever see. I've seen people on their deathbed.
Right.
Get right back up and go out on the streets and go out on the run.
Me too. Like my grandpa was dying.
And he like, I'm going back out.
Like, he knew he was dying. Like lung cancer, like got 5 minutes to live. And he like, go give me a cigarette to my mom. And she like, okay.
Yeah.
Got him that cigarette. And like, but that's the thing for me. It's like it's okay. But how do you like? I'm really trying to figure. You know, I'm trying to understand because
for me, I always say go to a program, because for my family, that's what has helped. Like the Pacifica House on El Segundo, that saved my mama. The Mission downtown saved my daddy. Like, they had lost us and everything because of the whole dynamic of it. My grandma the same way. And you gotta have people who love you, who are encouraging, and sometimes that's not enough.
Right.
But going to a program where you're secluded and you're isolated from everybody and you're dealing with your problems, you gotta deal with the crap that got you in it.
Right. I think Turquoia is trying to understand, how do you become addicted? Which is the same way
It's
with me
slippery
too.
slope.
Because I be like, how are you addicted to weed? Like, why, you smoking it by yourself? When you should
Smoking it when you
by
rolling it and
yourself.
smoking it by yourself.
Right. And I really want to know. Like, I really want to
Because
know
I
why.
smoke
How.
weed. Like I smoke
Me
it.
too.
And I'm like, okay, like you know.
I just thank God.
So
you not gonna
what's
get
the next
high,
level?
though. You will get high, but you're not gonna. It takes its levels to it.
But that's okay. So it's how many times does it take you to get high? So you gonna
I
waste
think
your money.
everyone's different, and it's a mind thing.
That's what I'm saying. To
as
get
well.
addicted.
It's a mind thing, so I don't think it's something that you will be able to truly understand.
Okay.
I don't think it's something like how can you get addicted to that? It's a mind thing. It's truly a mind thing. I don't think it's something that you would just try to understand.
I mean, somebody who has come out of addiction can explain it.
Okay.
On how they got addicted to whatever it was. It could be your surroundings. It could be just a friend told you to do this and you like this so much. It could
But
be
it's
a
still a
boy.
choice, right?
It is a choice.
That's what I'm saying. Like it's still a choice. Like the only reason why I'm so passionate about it is because I saw you on a regular basis. Like go to work, do your thing. You know what I'm saying? Didn't pick up no liquor at all, and then out of nowhere you just like. Okay, I'm gonna drink on Saturday and Sunday, and you was just drinking on Saturday and Sunday. Then you drink it from Sunday to Sunday, and like it's like you get off, like you don't drink enough to go to work and make your money. But the moment you get home, to the time you go to sleep, you drinking. You wake up, you go to work, you don't drink, you get home, you do it all over again. So what? I'm like it's like
They
you're
probably have an addiction spirit as well.
It's definitely an addiction spirit, and it's something that's deep rooted that maybe he can't find
You
out
don't want to surface
what it
that.
he don't want to surface.
Right, he don't want to find out what that, or he don't want to deal
with
that
It's a
issue.
functioning alcohol.
Yeah,
Functioning alcohol.
That's definitely
and it's a lot of those.
It's like the more you eat it, the stronger it's gonna get.
Yeah.
That's true. Function.
Okay, so I was going to say, let me say two things. One, an addiction is like a vice, right? Like it's something that takes complete control of your life. And I think we have some everyday habits that we think that are habits, but it could be addictions, because there's a thin line between what's a habit and what's an addiction. But I think my pastor was one that brought to my attention that we all have some type of addiction. So I was going to just share mine was sugar. Like I realized that I could not go the day without eating something with sugar. So I did a 30-day fast with not having no soda, no punch, no nothing. And it was, and I'm saying this because it was a health thing too, like just thinking about it health-wise. And so I did that just to see if I could do without it. Like if you feel like you need it, like what would it feel like if you didn't have it? So when I tested out, I didn't realize that how much stuff I was consuming in a day-to-day basis that had so much sugar in it, right? So it caused me to kind of pay attention more. But I was just, that was just mine. Mine didn't go. But I think...
No, I deal with the same thing, like with juice. I don't drink soda, but juice. Like
you could be addicted to you could be addicted to saving money and spending money. You could be addicted to purses and shoes, and you could be addicted to sex. You could be addicted to, like we said, dating. You could be addicted to getting your hair done all the time. Like you can't go without it. It's whatever you feel like you cannot go without. People are addicted to coffee. You're addicted to a lot of things. Right. You might feel like you gotta have a new outfit. Like I can't be seen in this. That's an addiction. Like if you feel like you have to. So we all have one.
No, but I really like, because, and I think that's where it comes in spiritual for me. Because my experience with God is just like, I can have it and then it can be taken away from me and I'll be good because I got Him. If that makes sense. Like
no, I understand.
I think that's why I can't, or I haven't gotten addicted to anything. Because my relationship with Him is just like, listen, like I promise, I ask myself, like, I could lose everything and I would still feel like complete. Like I could lose legit everything and I would still feel fine. Like, all right, so let's try it out. I'm gonna smoke weed. I'm gonna do it a couple of times. I'm gonna go to the strip club. I'm gonna, hang out with my girls. I'm gonna do a threesome. Like I'm telling y'all, like I went from A to Z because I'm trying to really understand, like, how can I help you if I see you going through something and I ain't been there, but I've been there.
Ask God to reveal to you any addictions you've had or you have that you don't recognize. And it could be the smallest thing. Don't dismiss it if it's itty bitty, like my sugar. But it could be something real simple that it becomes a part of Takoya. Like it's just a part of you. But you could do without it because it might be, no.
Like I'm telling you, like I would take my wig off in a second. Like, and just be bare. I'll take my nails off. I'll be naked. Like, this is me. Accept it for what it is. You don't have to if you choose not to. And it's like, I don't want people to think like, okay, I'm not humble. God, it's a crazy kind of, it's like a crazy kind of fire that He give me. Like, to the point where I feel like, if I got you today and you gone tomorrow, I'm going to be all right. You know what I'm saying? If the money is in the bank today and I'm completely broke tomorrow, I'm going to be all right.
That's faith, but faith in
No, it's different. It's different from faith. That faith is something totally different. For me, it's just like, because, okay, you my friend. We get into it. I love you for who you are, but if you feel like you don't need to be in my life, that's fine. Bye.
So that's why she's saying that she feel like she have an addiction because of the fact that it can be here today and gone tomorrow. But the thing is, and I'm going to use that but very loosely, because you really haven't experienced it. Something hasn't really been taken away from you that you saying that you can live without. You get what I'm saying? Like if God was
the only one, I promise you, that was the only person that came.
You could be to your kids too.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. You could say it right now, plain as day, and that's cool. But if God really do it, see how you're going to be. And that's the same thing with addicts, because they don't realize that I can stop today. Or they may realize it, but I don't want to. You know what I'm saying? And God gives us the free gift, the free will to do as we please until He step in.
And that's where, like last week when we was talking, that's where you got a lot of living to do. You ain't done living. You feel what I'm saying? You're going to experience things that you have never experienced. Right. That's what I was telling her. You're going to experience it. You might not have experienced it now. Life might not take you through it for another 10 years. But when you do it and when they get to you, throw your hands up and walk away, because you're gonna let God handle it. But sometimes it don't be that way. Sometimes it don't be that strong. Sometimes it ain't. Sometimes you're not as strong to do it. Sometimes you're too weak to do it. Sometimes you're not in a mindset of being as strong as you possibly could, that you've been walking through your life 28, 29 years of being strong and mentally strong. It's probably get to a point on your 30th, 31st year, you probably just not strong at that point. So at the end of the day, I tell people, you're going to experience a lot of things for the first time. It could be smoking. It could be whatever. It could be being in a sex relationship that you just wouldn't see yourself in. Because it's going to be the first time you experience it. You just probably haven't did it check.
But I don't think that it's a bad thing
No.
that she hasn't or can't identify that. That's actually a great.
That's
It's
not
good.
You know
bad.
what I'm saying?
That's
But
not bad.
Because at first I'm
would
thinking like,
suggest-
what am I addicted to? You feel me?
Right,
I'm
right.
probably not even addicted to working like that, but I feel that I am. Because I feel like I anything that I try to avoid, I run
Once
to
you
going
set
to
the
work.
void, then you
Yeah.
can't.
Yeah,
You
then I start
identifying.
identifying. But I was thinking like, what am I addicted to? Because I was never addicted to drugs or anything, but I do remember me coming close to really liking alcohol because I started doing it to my liking.
Right.
And I used to tell myself like, chill.
Chill out.
You get what I'm saying? But I could see myself, if I was weak or I was going into some type of depression at the time, I probably would have been gone. But I wasn't.
I think of addictions like good addiction and bad addictions. And not to say that one is better than the other, but we have some things that are good, godly things, or just things that you do that are good, but it don't mean it's good for the spirit or good for who you're growing into. So I think of like all addictions don't have to be bad. So we're entabling the things that we category to be bad, but there's some addictions that are good, but it don't mean you're supposed to be there.
Addictions that are good are habits.
True. Yeah.
That's how I see it. But okay, but what the Bible say about addictions? Not the word addictions, but it say consuming too much of anything is not good.
Right.
And I think I keep that in my mind. You know, and that's what prevents me. Not saying that it won't happen or it can't happen, because I understand that it can. I won't speak that over my life, but you know, this far it hasn't. And I would intentionally, that's why I say I would intentionally try to explore those things that are common, just to see how does it happen. Like,
I don't think it works.
but it's for my sake.
It don't work like that.
But you shouldn't. But I don't think you should.
It comes very unknowingly.
It's like a side.
It's like it's something that's going to sneak up on you. It's something that's not just about to. I'm gonna try this to try to get addicted to it.
But I think she's doing it so that
she can minister to those that have.
Yeah, but you don't have to do that because the stuff that you have already been through is gonna minister to whoever you're supposed to reach.
Right.
Them people who you're trying to do this stuff is not the people you're supposed to reach.
Right.
Because you're intentionally trying to do it.
Right.
All your whole life you're doing things that you want to do.
Right.
You should be doing the things that you want to do. That is going, whether you bump your head or don't bump your head.
That's your testimony.
Exactly. That's why you're going through. So I think you should stop trying to stop trying to understand what an addict feels like. Unless you have to go sit down with an addict who has come out of addiction, and they'll tell you what it felt like to be in it and what it feels like to be out of it. For them.
Because everybody's addiction.
For them. But trying to understand
most women get on drugs because of a man, pleasing a man. A man introduced 98% of women to drugs, and the women do it to make that man happy. You get what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, me, you stupid. But that is for them.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? That was their case.
And that's their testimony.
And that's their testimony. You get what I'm saying? So like I said, addiction is a case-by-case scenario.
It is.
It's not something that you're going to be able to make yourself try or understand because it might not come to you in that way. Some people got slip drugs.
Yeah.
I like sitting talking to drug addicts to understand how did they even become on drugs. And here they are. You get what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, you would never really get it because this drug addict, I love her to death. When she told me her story, I cried. Her best friend slipped her drugs. She's still on drugs to this day. She cried. She got kids all over the city. You know, and come from a good family. Her family tried to take her and put her in placements and do all this.
Slipped her drug.
What you mean? She rolled the weed and gave it to her at Primo, and she at the time her baby daddy had got killed. So when she got the call that her baby daddy had got killed, her best friend was right there with her, and she rolled it up. Going through a whole depression of your baby daddy getting killed.
Right.
Now she calling like, where you get that weed from we had the other night? She like, I got it from such and such. She goes to such and such. When she gets to him, he like, I don't sell weed. She like, well, give me whatever you gave Bridget.
And that happens.
And he gave her
exactly
what he gave Bridget. And she's still on drugs till this day. And she cried because she was crying and she was like, she off drugs. The best friend ain't even on drugs no more. She like, and I still can't get rid of this. Like, this how she talking to me. I'm sitting there crying with her. Because an addiction is something that, trust me, it's people that smoke drugs that do not want to
be there.
smoke
They
drugs.
be crying when they do it.
They cry. They do not. It's a controlled substance that really triggers your mind. She cries and be like, I really do not want to do this no more. An addiction is not something, like I said, it was slipped on her by her best friend, somebody that she loved to death, somebody that she trusted, with her privacy, with her secrets, with everything, and she's still on drugs to this day. So at the end of the day, an addiction is not something that you can intentionally do.
Right.
An addiction is not something that you consciously go into.
Right.
Addiction is something that comes and you be looking like, how did I get here?
What happened?
I need to get out of this, and it's not hard to get out. It's not easy. I'm sorry, it's not easy to get out of it. An addiction is not something to play with.
Okay, so for me, I'm just going to touch on two types of addictions. The first one I want to talk about is the one that's actual addiction. Like, you know because it's consumed you. You know because it has you acting different. You know because you get that itch and you can't stop. Whether it be a phone, whether it be sugar, whether it be a man, whether it be work, whatever it is, if it gets to that point, you need to ask somebody for some help. And if you know somebody and you're seeing their attitude change, my dad always say, through your life, you don't change your personality. You don't become a new person unless you dealing with a drug. So if you have somebody and they're acting different, they're drinking more, they're doing whatever they doing more, and you know they didn't put it up to another level that's unhealthy, tap that person. Give them an intervention. To those that are sneaking and doing stuff, to those that don't feel like it's a problem because you still have that job, you still have that marriage, you still have that relationship, you're still able to functionally help your kids, it's not a problem until it's a problem. So think about it. What am I doing in my life that is hindering me as a woman, that's hindering me as a man, that's hindering me as a person, that's hindering me from going to the next level? What may I be addicted to? And if you have somebody in your life or in your corner that you see that is becoming a problem, or that the problem may be already blown up, get that person some help. Like I said, from my family, rehab is the number one place. But two, you gotta believe or know that you have a problem. Don't allow other people to say, oh, well, everybody do it. Well, everybody ain't you. Everybody don't have the same repercussions from alcohol, from drugs, from sex, from relationships. Everybody don't have that same itch that you got. So if you know it's a problem, start thinking about it. And we just gonna pray for you even now. Lord, we just thank you. We glorify you for this topic, oh God. We just ask for anyone who's suffering from addiction at this moment, that you would free them in the mighty name of Jesus. Let them see their self free. For those that are like the individual Green Eyes, Lord God, who wants to get off, who wants to do better, but they still feel attacked by that demon and just enclosed, we just ask that you would free them in the mighty name of Jesus, oh God. I pray for all the drug dealers and those that are pushing the drugs that have people addicted. I ask that you give them a change of heart. I pray for all those individuals, Lord, that are suffering from whether it be social media or sugar and just think it's something small. Lord, we already know that if it starts small and the enemy gets you, that it'll make it a bigger deal. So I just ask that we not be so prideful. I ask that we not be so lackadaisical to just think that it's something small. But Lord, we want to be totally committed to you. We want to be surrendered to you. And we want to be free in every area of our life. So help us to walk in freedom. And we just thank you right now for anybody that's viewing that's suffering, any family that's suffering. And we just ask that you would give them total freedom. In the mighty name of Jesus we pray. Amen.
Amen.
This is Share Your Truth.